Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and I hope that your 2024 is off to a good start. Now, in December of last year, yes, we're going back to the past, I was in New York. I had 3 nights in New York on holiday just to feel extremely Christmassy, and I did, and it was fantastic. And I actually did make a Christmas video whilst I was there, which you may have seen here on my channel, but I will link it down below. And if you can't find the link down below, it's one of the last few videos that I posted. It's all about the Rockefeller Christmas tree, and it really was magical being there at that time of year. But whilst I was there, get to the point, Craig, I filmed a Target shop up. Yes, I went to Target. I say that a few times in the video, watching it, editing it. I went to Target and we got into hair care, what's good, what's not. And there's a few controversial bits and bobs in there, but it's a really fun video and I'm really enjoying doing these shop ups. So without further ado, that's a long enough intro. Let's get on with the video. So it's me, Craig. I'm here from the past in Target in New York City, just off of Times Square actually. And it's not that busy in here. The music's quite loud. I apologise. I don't have my microphone with me because it doesn't fit my new phone, this new phone. But let's have a look at what they have in store here. First up, can we just take a moment to talk about Aussie, okay? Different packaging to in the UK. I have featured this before in my Boots video, I think. Did I? I can't remember. Well, I will link the Boots video down below. But let's just talk for a second about Aussie, because recently, just unfolding my glasses, I have seen in social media lots of people really bashing this line of product, okay? I don't know why, I've seen lots of reels where people are saying that this is basically the work of Satan. Like I said, different packaging to in the UK, but the ingredients list of this really isn't that bad. You know, it's got sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a really effective cleanser. Can I do that with one hand? Sodium lauryl sulfate, really effective cleanser. You know, cleanses the hair better than anything else, and it doesn't do you any damage. Dimethicone, which is a water-soluble form of silicone, and it's a very good quality silicone, which is water-soluble. It doesn't build up on the hair. So, you know, it's very high in fragrance. Where is it? Somewhere on there will be fragrance, quite high up the list. Can I find it? Can I find it? No, I'm just literally just staring at the label. There's coconut oil. But it will be very fragranced, and I know as a hairdresser sometimes when you shampoo clients' hair you can still smell the fragrance from this. But there's jojoba seed oil as well, citric acid to address the pH of the hair. So there's a couple of fillers in here as well. Sodium chloride, so it's probably not the best shampoo for heavily coloured hair where you don't want the colour to fade. Sodium chloride is a thickener, and it's also used as a preservative, it's salt. But it's not a bad product at all, and for the price point, this is like $4.99. So please stop bashing things. There's nothing wrong with it. There's an awful lot of R&D that go into these mass-produced products, and if they were really going to cause your hair that much harm, obviously if your hair's very chemically processed or weak or you have a lot of colour, then perhaps this isn't best for you, but for the price point it isn't bad enough. So obviously with it being Target in the US, I wish we had Target over in the UK, we have lines that we don't see over in that little tiny island that I live on. But this section here is to discover black owned and founded beauty. And I was in here the other day doing a recce, and I just think that's fantastic. And you know, we need to take a lead from this as well over in the UK. But I was in here the other day and I was looking at this line, this Miss Jess's, sorry. Come on, Craig. It's so cold outside, I can only just feel my hands. So this is Coily Custard, which is agave coconut oil, the best darn curly custard, period. So it's a styling product. And I think there's leave-in conditioners in this line. I'm just having a look. There's some leave-in conditioner there. What else? These are all styling lotions and kind of like styling creams, okay? But this I picked up the other day and had a quick look at ingredients. Focus, Craig. Water, glycerin, very moisturising, hydrolyzed corn starch, which would be very slippy and also be good for the structure of the hair. We've got benzoic acid, which deals with pH. Now, interestingly, this has got pectin in it. Focus. This has got pectin in it, which comes from apples and is great for strengthening the hair. We've got, what else? Look at my phone instead of reading the screen. We've got coconut oil, so it makes the hair very smooth. Fragrance, right at the bottom there. Quite a simple ingredients list for a styling product. And bearing in mind, this is going to be left in the hair all the time. So, you know, it's not like something you rinse out. You do leave it in as a leave-in styling product. But can we just also take a moment for how all of these look? Reminds me of kind of early Kiehl's, or how Kiehl's looks now really, I guess. But there's, you know, there's something for everybody. Every sort of curly, kinky, textured hair that there is. Yeah, look at that. Miss Jess's. Now, something that gets bashed to bits is Tresemme, okay? Let's have a little butchers now. What we've got here, Keratin Smooth Colour, Anti-Fade, 60 days colour system, Pro Style Tech, 0% parabens, mineral oil, there we go, all of those. I mean, that's just marketing buzzwords, really. But I have just had a quick look at the back of this. Water, we've got dimethicone, which is really high on the ingredients list here, so that's what they're using to smooth and add shine. Camellia seed oil, hydrolyzed keratin. I will say, again, like fragrance is there. Focus. Fragrance is right high up on the ingredients list, because a lot of these cheaper lines are governed by people opening the bottles and smelling the product as to whether they're bought. So that's why they're very heavy fragrance. There's lactic acid, which is good for the scalp and the hair for balancing pH. And there's a lot of chemical ingredient in this, which I'm not against, but that's the thing with a product that is $7.39 for a huge bottle. It's not gonna have, you know, the bestest ingredients. But again, even though, you know, unless you're very allergic to fragrance, I would avoid this. But it isn't the devil, but it's a cheaper formulation. So it's not going to be quite as snazzy. Probably makes the hair feel very slippy. And if you have finer textured hair, I would stay away from anything like this. The Keratin Smooth, adding keratin to a formula like this isn't going to be like a keratin treatment. And there's not a lot of data to suggest that keratin in a product like this is actually going to penetrate the hair and make it stronger. But yeah, Tresemme. Yeah, people will be coming for me for saying, you know, I mean, if that's all you can afford and you want something to, you know, cleanse the hair properly, then that's what you should buy. But do I think there are better things? Yes, I do. So another line that was female started and by a person of colour was Sheer Moisture. Now this has been knocked as well, I've seen on TikTok and Instagram recently, but it is a really good line. It's now owned by, I can't remember if it's Unilever or Procter & Gamble, but it's owned by one of those brands. Now I'm just looking at the back of this Hydrate Repair Shampoo, cleanse and restore extremely dry, brittle hair. And it's got fair trade shea butter, manuka honey and yogurt, okay? And if I look at the ingredients list on here, it's got lots of natural extracts. It has the honey, the yogurt, and the mafura oil. There we go. A lot of these products do contain a lot of natural oils, which make the hair very slippery. There's that oil there. We've got chicory root. We've got the honey. Honey's not really going to do anything, to be honest. You know, it's not really. It's in there, but it's not going to do anything to your hair. Shea butter, which is very, very moisturising. Excuse me. We've got panthenol. Now, panthenol attracts water. It's an emollient. So that is going to attract moisture and hydrate the hair, not necessarily make it strong. Coconut oil, we've got baobab seed oil, which is an antioxidant baobab. Yogurt powder, that's not really going to do anything for your hair. Sodium chloride in here, so that'll be in there as a thickener and a bit of preservative as well. So if you want to avoid that, if you've got very heavily coloured hair, but you know, it's really not a bad formula. I've had a look at all of these and none of them are shocking. They don't have lots of chemical preservatives in them. Tin oxide, I'm not sure what that would be in there. Maybe that would be for shine. Benzoic acid, so that addresses the pH of the hair. But yeah, as far as like unnatural preservatives, there aren't loads in there. So yes, it's a mass-produced line. What's the price of that? $13.79. But it really isn't a bad line. I think it's really great. I've had a look at, like I said, a few of them, and there's some great things here, especially for thicker textured, curly, coily hair. So I know a lot of my American pals over the years have used It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In product. And I don't know if this is available in the UK. I was quite surprised at the price point, like £37 for the daily conditioner, which you rinse out, and then $49. Did I just say pounds? I'm not sure. Now this nourishes hair, thermal protector, detangles, helps protect hair colour, restores shine, etc., etc. Does 10 things instantly. If you want my advice, get Redken's One United. because the ingredients list of this, although it's not horrendous, it's got isopropyl alcohol in it, which is quite a strong form of alcohol, and then it's got another alcohol up here. Now, alcohols in styling products, shampoos, conditioners can be good because they help to transport the good things deeper into the hair. But this is 2 forms of alcohol, and they're quite high up the ingredients list. Citric acid to address the pH. There's a camellia leaf extract that really doesn't do anything to the hair, to be honest. It might be slightly calming on the scalp, but you're not putting this on your scalp. So yeah, and it's got some pretty serious preservatives in it as well. It's a 10. Is it a 10? And a miracle. No hair products are miracles. There's incredible formulations, things like K18 and, you know, One United by Redken is a really good formulation. But miracle, no. Sorry, it's a 10. Whilst we're here in Target and we're talking mass-produced hair care, let's talk about Pantene, if you're from the US. Now, I have just looked at this here, which is their daily moisture renewal. It's interesting. Packaging here in the US tends to be a lot more sort of pared down, a lot more minimal. I quite like the packaging of this. Hydration every wash shampoo. So this has got 0 parabens, funny that, colourants and no harsh stripping. But I'll tell you what this does have in it, and it's a bit of a tongue twister, but if I go for it, it's got methyl chloroisothiazone. Okay, can you see down the bottom here? Now that is a very mass-produced preservative that can create irritation. Not in everybody, but it can be an irritant. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't use anything that had methyl chloroisothiazone, the tongue twister, in it, because it is a very, very cheap, preservative. What else is in here? We've got some coconut-derived ingredients here with that coca at the beginning, another one there. We've got sodium lauryl sulfate, really good surfactant to clean the hair, thoroughly cleanse the hair and the scalp. What else? Citric acid for pH balance. There's a lot of very mass-produced chemicals in this. But again, it's a $769 price point for 700 ml. So, if you want a lot of shampoo and you want a lot of really cheap shampoo, but I really wouldn't use it with the methyl chloroisothiazone in it, personally. So they have quite a large OGX section in here, and I know that we have this in the UK. I don't really know much about it, but talking of like heat protectants, and this is the Frizz 5-in-1 benefits. They like to offer lots of benefits, don't they, these lines? Frizz-free keratin smoothing oil, miracle gloss smoothing spray. This multi-benefit blend is infused with keratin, proteins, arganols and ceramides. Ceramides are very moisturising on the skin and the hair, and they make the hair very slippy, which is good. But I've just looked on the back of this, and it's completely fine because it has dimethicone in it. It has acrylates, which are copolymers, which basically coat the hair. So this is a little bit like the Colour Wow Dream Coat, if you like. It's coating the hair. Hydrolyzed keratin. The hydrolyzed keratin will fill in the holes where the cuticle is kind of damaged, if you like. But it doesn't repair it. It just fills it in temporarily, really. Spinosa kernel oil, not sure who she is. There's the ceramides. Creatine is a part of what makes up hair. It's actually what makes up our muscles as well and our skin, which is quite incredible. So, that's not a bad ingredient. And then it's got some preservatives in here as well. So, but this is a temporary frizz-free fix. Say that 3 times fast. But it's not actually going to permanently make the hair strong. So it's about making it glossy and shiny when you've blow dried it out smooth or ironed it, but it's not going to make it strong internally. Yeah, and that's some pretty serious copolymer kind of acrylics going on in there. Not a bad product, but not the best. Let's get into everything here in Target. Now let's talk scrunches, like hair elastics, okay? Can you see that these, now not only are they elastic, which is fine, but if you have a lot of hair or you're forcing a lot of hair into it, they can rub on the hair and break it. But these have, if I can do it all with one hand whilst I'm holding my camera, they have this kind of like join in them. and that is like glued together, and that glue could rub on your hair. Can you see how my very dry finger, is snagging on it? So that could rub on your hair and cause breakage. If you have a lot of hair or really long hair, what you really want is something like this, that's super soft and super stretchy, but has a lot of give to it. These don't have much give to them. Once you've wrapped that around your hair twice, it might potentially, rub on your hair over time and create breakage on that top layer, which is where, as hair professionals, we see the most breakage on that I was almost going to go and touch the back of my head then, on the top sections of the hair, and especially around the front of the face as well, the face frame, because the hair is snatched back and it rubs and then it breaks. So we'll leave those, but if you were going to get anything, I would get something like this, that is that jersey material, and it's much more forgiving. Maybe not quite as sexy, if a hair scrunchie is sexy, but you know what I mean, as snazzy, but they can really potentially break the hair, especially if you've got a lot of highlights or a lot of lightener in your hair or high lift tint, or you use a lot of heat on your hair, which is also going to affect the structure of your hair. So just think when you're tying your hair back, and please, not too tight. Seeing as we're talking about tying hair back, are they called Scrunches? I don't know. #1 hair accessory brand. I recommend these claw hair clips all the time, because if you buy the clear ones, they almost look invisible, and because of the nature of these with those little grippy claws, if you like, they really do keep the hair back out of the face or in an updo, but they're very discreet, and they don't do any damage because they are basically just catching the hair up. Really good. I don't know how much are these. I moved out of the way of the speaker. These are $5.29 for loads of them, and I know if you're watching this in the UK, you can find these all over the place. Someone's just dropped loads of things, whoops. But these are going to cause no damage at all. I suppose you could get them tangled up in your hair if you weren't careful, but they're really good for just very quickly and securely tying your hair up. These are actually made with 50% recycled plastic. Could they be made with 100%? Could they? But yeah, really top tip, great top tip. I use these as well on shoots and for TV and things. If I just want to control someone's hair, and I can hide these really easily. If I want to control someone's hair and I don't want to use an elastic and snatch things back too tight, really cool, top tip, love them. Now I could start all forms of controversy, couldn't I, by getting into these box dyes. Not what I call them home colourants. They're perfectly valid and they're great formulations if they're used correctly. And let's be real, not all home colouring, not all hair colouring is done in salon. A lot of people just can't go to the salon. So you'd be surprised at the statistics of people that do colour their hair at home. But I did see, Craig's getting all excited, Kristen S has a line of glosses, signature glosses. I've seen these online. This image is arresting. In fact, I just love it. In fact, all of the images on these boxes are just gorgeous. Now I've just looked, it does have quite a lot of alcohol as a delivery system to get the pigment into the hair. Alcohol is not the devil, but it is quite high on the ingredients list here, and there's a few different sorts. And I think, from what I've seen, this does have an activator in it. Oh, turns the box around. It does have an activator in it. So it will have some kind of peroxide, so it will be mildly oxidant. Has an antioxidant complex as well. Alkaline neutralizing system, which I'm not sure, maybe it's slightly acidic. I've never tried it to use in between salon visits. That's interesting. Ammonia-free formula would not lift, lighten or cover greys. So it's, 3 to 4 week colour. But I need to just, there we go, pop it on my bag to turn it around. But really beautiful packaging. In shower toning gloss. That could be tricky. I was gonna say, if you're gonna tone your own hair at home, I don't think it's good to do it in the shower because, you might not get the product evenly and you might need to leave it on for a bit longer and you could just get in all sorts of a pickle. But interesting. Let me know down below if you want me to get into box dyes, what I call home colourants. We could do that in a video. Controversial yet bold. We could. Now, something I'm a real fan of, and I have several different shades. I have like a blonde, a golden blonde, a light brown, a dark brown, a black in my hair kit that I use when I'm on session jobs, on television and stuff, is the Magic Root Cover-Up. It's so good for blending in roots in between touching up your own roots or going to the salon. What I will say is it's great if you want to shampoo this out of your hair before you do your own root touch-up or you go to the salon, that's cool, but you don't need to. because the colour, permanent colour, will penetrate through this if the colour is applied appropriately, following guidelines. You need to use lots of product when you're touching up grey roots. But the main ingredient in this, if I put this down, the main ingredient in this here, if I can get it to focus, is actually propellant. It has a ton of propellant in it. There's not actually much product. And the product that it has in there that does the covering is iron oxide. And that's what sticks to the hair. It has a few other things like, you know, powdery type things that do the pigment, the hair, if you like, that add the colour. But the main ingredients in this is actually propellant. This one's actually been dropped. But it really is a brilliant formulation. You can sleep in it. You can't get in a really hot shower and get slightly wet with it on, it will run. But I've sprayed wigs completely with this. I've sprayed human beings' hair with this completely when we've needed to do something where we've, you know, added a piece and we need to change the rest of their hair colour. It really is a brilliant product. $13.49. I think that's more expensive than it is in the UK. I'm not entirely sure what the price point is over in the UK, but it is fantastic. If you, just be careful that you don't get it on your scalp, like cover up your parting if you're going to spray a lot of it on, and just watch it around your front hairline. But it really is great. It gives the hair a bit of a density as well, because it has that iron oxide, that pigment in it, that actually makes the hair feel a little bit thicker. But it's a brilliant product. You might need to try a few to get the right shade for you, but I love it. So the one thing, very briefly, the one thing that America does better than we does is minis. Look at all these hair, this whole carousel is just hair minis. We've got some Nexus, we've got that Miracle, maybe it's not a Miracle. I didn't know that Aussie Bum made hair care. Focus 3-in-1 leave-in. Wow, everything's got multi-use, isn't it? There's some Kristen S, you know, really, really cool. I mean, pretty much fully stocked. A bit of Kenra volume spray. Oh, I know, super hold finishing spray, 25. I bet that's fierce. But yeah, amazing. There's a bit of something here for everybody, and just I wish we did this in the UK better. So I think that's it for our Target time. Lots of great things to be had here. So cool to get a chance to go and put one of these together for you in the US. It's time to go outside now into the freezing cold, and yeah, I hope you get stuff from these videos. I really enjoy putting them together, despite everything going on around me, another little pan of the store. But I tell you what, let's finish off this video with me back in the future. So that was my Target shop up. So much fun to do. I hope you found it helpful. Were there things in there that you love? Were there things that you might perhaps purchase in Target if you're in the US that we don't have here in the UK? I'd love to know. As always, I have a strict rule here on my channel. You leave me a comment or ask me a question in the comments and I will always get back to you. I can't give you very specific formulas for hair colour because that's quite tricky without actually seeing you in person. But I do reply to everybody. There's a playlist with my other shop up videos. Is there somewhere that you would like to see me do a shop up here in the UK? Because if there is, I will do it. I'm really enjoying doing this series, so there's more to come. But as I said, leave me your comments down below because it's always great to read them. Okay, you all take lots of care and I'll see you all in the next one.